This hit that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one's for them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. I got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, so pretty. Too hot. Call the phone. Make a drag you wanna retire, man. Too hot. Say my name, I knew who I am, but too hot. Ain't no bad about that money, break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Saturday night and they in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Don't believe it, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh. Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some sugar in it. Take a sip, sign a check. Julio, get the stretch. Back to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. We gon' show out, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh dry skippy. Too hot. Call the police and the fireman. Too hot. Make a drag you wanna retire, man. Too hot. Say my name, you know who I am, but too hot. Ain't no bad about that money, break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Uptown Funk gon' give it to ya. Saturday night and they in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Don't believe it, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh.
All right, Daybreak. Before we leave, let me tell you a little something. I said, Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said, Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said, Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said, Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you can dance, then flaunt it. If you're funky, then own it. Don't brag about it, just show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you can dance, then flaunt it. It's Saturday night, we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh. Uptown, funk you up. 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 Uptown, funk you up.
It's amazing how big things can often have small beginnings. I remember when I was a kid making paper airplanes and wondering where they might take me. Well, this plane is on no ordinary mission. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's on its way to a very special place. Why don't you travel along with me? Here we go. We're on our way to Kernsville, North Carolina. And if you've ever traveled by paper airplane, well, then you know there's all kinds of interesting things to see along the way. Look out below! This is the home of Wes and Claudia Dupin. Their two boys, Chad and Clint, their two dogs, and their two bushes. It was here that they got the call to come to Michigan.
What?
Hey, Wes, would you come to Michigan, please?
Okay.
So they sold their house, their two dogs, their boys, oops, wait a minute, rewind, and their two bushes. And they started off north to the great state of Michigan, traveling, of course, in the Dupin Way. And they arrived in Michigan, home of the Onion. We're almost there. Oh, look, it's Hudsonville. So October 8th, 1989, and Daybreak has its first service at Sandy Hill Elementary School. Let's check it out.
I just want to say to you this morning, it is so wonderful to be here and to feel the warmth of you folks. And we do want to say that we are delighted to have all of you and our special singers. Haven't they done a wonderful job?
Who could have guessed that 327 people showed up that day? Daybreak had begun. Ooh, dramatic. Wait. Just a minute. Hello? No, there's a caveman on stage, and he's upstaging me right now. Just... Oh, well.
Ahoy, matey!
Oh,
Captain Jack, at your service.
well, thank you, Jack.
You want to push that?
Yes. Oh, and think about all the amazing things that we've done here at Daybreak, like that series, remember? Pimp My Ride. That was great. And our creative conference, Creative Infusion. And Brian, Head Welch.
Yes. Let them eat corn.
That's right. Oh, and the Easter service. Remember that one? That was great. And our musical, Legend. The golf outing. That was great.
And of course, don't forget the Mud Bowl.
The what?
The Mud Bowl!
Oh, yeah.
And the trips to Haiti.
There you go.
The Swamp Fest.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Whatever is a Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Grinch. Mm-hmm. And who could forget Luminaire?
That's right. Oh, and Spring Hill Camps.
That's
Daybreak.
Always a good time for the little ones.
That's right. We've always been about the kids.
Hi, my name is Edith Ann, and I am 5 years old. Yes, I am. And today is your birthday. Yeah, I guess you are this many years old. I think that's right. Okay, but I am so excited because my mommy said I get to blow out the candles, but I'm a little worried because I saw Wes and I think he ate all the cake. Okay, but anyway, when do we get to blow out the candles?
We're almost there, Edith Ann.
Yes. Welcome aboard, love. And now, onward to the bounty.
That's right, Jack. We've hit the jackpot.
Well, this
What a great day today is. And it's amazing to see all of the incredible ways that God has blessed this place. But from what I understand, things are only just getting heated up. In fact, I hear that Wes has some crazy plans in store for our future.
No worries, lad. Ginger ale.
Oh, all right then. Well, I propose a toast.
Yes, a toast. To me mateys.
Happy birthday, Daybreak.
Okay, everybody, make a wish.
Yeah, happy anniversary and happy birthday indeed. Give yourselves another round of applause, everybody. We are 30 years old today. Woohoo! Man, we are so thankful that you came here to celebrate with us today. Also, a special shout out to those watching the stream at daybreak.tv. We're glad you tuned in. You are going to miss out on one thing, though. Everybody here, you can go to the student section at the end of the service, and we have cake and punch. So that's how we're going to celebrate here at Daybreak. Always about some food, right? If you are new to us at Daybreak, please stop by the lounge. You are invited there to connect with us. So on your way to get cake and punch, stop by the lounge to see us. Now, this service has a lot more surprises in store, lots more music, lots more fun, and let's get on with that right now, starting with the incomparable Lou Musa.
Please welcome from Music City, Jim Sheaberger.
It's all the same. Only the names will change. Every day it seems like we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse, I ride on wanted, dead or alive, wanted, dead or alive.
All right, Wally. Wally, we made it, bro.
All right.
We made it to
Derek
celebrate.
Harmon.
Wally Harrison, good to see you, man.
See you.
We made it.
Oh, much love, Daybreak. How you doing? Come on now.
All right. Woo. That was a trip.
Trip the whole way, and I'm guessing you rode that thing all the way from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee on this baby right here. 70 miles to the gallon on this hog right here. I
No
traded my
kidding.
car in straight up for this
Straight
thing.
up, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
long
it's good.
trip, you probably had some chicken and waffles on the way, filled the belly.
Did not need to stop for any food. Swallowed a big June bug on the way, so I'm
Sure.
actually pretty good.
That
Yeah, I'm
takes
set.
care of it right there.
How about you, man? You're living risky these days? No
Riskies.
helmet for you or what?
No helmet because of the helmet hair. It just bugs me to no end. I don't want the
I
helmet.
get it. I get it.
You're
Wally.
laughing because I'm bald. It's okay. I'm aware of it.
Well, we had to be here today to celebrate
Yes.
30 years of Daybreak Church because this place has had a massive impact on our lives. I spent almost 15 years of my life a part of this church right here. As a kid, growing up, and then on staff, as a field director. And man, we're so grateful for what God has done through this place and what we learned while we were here. I now pastor a church just outside of Nashville called Church of the City. And a lot of what we did here impacted my life, and I'm taking that there. One of the things is just that desire to reach people far from God. And that happened in my life. I actually got baptized on this stage. My dad came to faith in Jesus at this church, and that's just in us. And now, here's what I get to do now. I actually pastor this church, and the baptism photos is what I want you to look at. That guy over there, his name's Tim. He's 19 years old, gave his life to Jesus this summer and got baptized. The guy on the left there, his name's Don. It looks like those are tears of joy, ladies and gentlemen. He's in his 70s and found Jesus and got baptized this past year. And so we're just so grateful, and we got to celebrate. How about you, Wally?
Yes. So I began just outside here in a thing called Swamp Fest, where I did Matt Foley, motivational speaker.
Very nice.
And so that cascaded into the Grinch.
Just
but
a few
before that
characters.
was Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
So we did some fun skits and such.
Yeah.
And then I was on staff doing drama on stage. I fell down on this stage a lot. But also, me too, I was baptized on this stage too.
Awesome.
So that was amazing.
That's awesome.
And then served in the youth ministry. And now I'm at Walker Harbor Church in Walker, in between Allendale and downtown Grand Rapids. So lead pastor there. And it's been beautiful to be a part of that. Some of the things we do, we want to meet the city right where they are. So sometimes we'll have gatherings at the brewery in downtown Walker, and we talk about the things that matter most and say, we'll meet you where you are, because some of these people are not going to come to church. So we do that, and then the city of Walker, the mayor, I meet with the mayor and the chief of police and sit down and say, what would be good news to this city? And so I talk with him, and then we just try and live as good news and love Walker well. And so he sent us a card just saying, just want to know we see you, Walker Harbor, and you are good news to this city.
That's awesome,
And so
Wally.
it's
Love
about that. Yeah.
I love what we've learned here being on staff at Daybreak, and there are many others around the country that got their start here and now are doing great things around the country as well, leading and serving, and they wanted to celebrate as well. So check this out.
Hey Daybreak, I want to wish you a happy 30th anniversary. That is just incredible. My name is Steve Durr, and my wife Vicki and I served at Daybreak in the late 90s. My wife Vicki and I in 2003 helped start a church called Watermark. We planted Watermark almost 16 and a half years ago now. Thank you for the investment you've made in our life, and hopefully we've been able to touch your life. And we just want to again say thanks, and we're celebrating you today.
We want to say thank you because now there is a church in Sacramento, California, because of your investment in us that wasn't there before. Now, this little church that was about 450 people in the oil fields of North Dakota 9 years ago now reaches well over 1,000 people on a regular basis. We will be starting our very first church plant campus, the first of 30.
Happy birthday, Daybreak. Welcome to the 30 Club. 30s are really not that bad, as long as you can get past the rattly knees, but count your blessings, you can still walk. So, happy birthday. Jason Brewer here, former staff member, former student ministries director, wishing you a happy birthday, but also wishing I was there with you to celebrate the 30 years of great ministry that you guys have done. I am so grateful for your impact in my life. I am now currently at Never the Same, the ministry that puts on NCS camp.
Hey, what's going on, Daybreak? Happy 30th birthday. I remember the opening day like it was yesterday. 327 people walked through those doors at Sandy Hill Elementary. I also remember that my dad was wearing a suit and that we had drums and people were upset about drums, right? I also remember I was doing most of the work. Setting up, tearing down, a lot of stuff. Something else I did not know was that God was planting a seed in me as a result of that day, to plant a church here in the San Francisco Bay Area, the most unchurched and de-churched population in all of the US. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being bigger than what's happening there, but thinking about also what's happening out here.
Good morning, Daybreak. Good morning. Hey, Wes, can you come on up? We have a special surprise for Wes. My name is Steve Frody, and we have the Board of Elders here. I just want to give you a special surprise and a little gift. And while today we celebrate Daybreak's 30th birthday on behalf of the Elder Board, Jeff, Dawn, Marcy, and Jeremy and I, let's see here, we would like to honor you with a few tokens of appreciation. It's been 30 years, Wes.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
We have a service award here that Marcy has. And on this award, it says 30 years. It says, well done, Pastor Wes Dupin. Your courage, passion, and commitment to spread the good news of Jesus Christ has changed the lives of so many people. And we're deeply grateful, and you're faithful to dedicated service from the church family at Daybreak. That's awesome. Also, we have a card here and a certificate, a little trip to get away, and also a card for...
Maybe you should hold that.
Yeah, there you go. And the card has got in there, it's got all
I see it's got Claudia's name on it.
That's right, and yours.
Oh, okay.
But inside there's a card for all the Hiptown children and all the youth children, all signed it to say happy birthday, right?
Do they even know who we are?
They do, Wes. They do. Wes, for 30 years of faithful service demonstrated by you and Claudia, is extremely uncommon in today's ministry. In fact, currently a pastor's tenure in a local church is about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And you've been here 30. Your dedication to bring as many to follow Christ is amazing. So today we want to honor you and say thank you. And we believe in you and are confident. Let's do another 30 years.
Yeah, let's do it.
I appreciate it, brother.
You guys, I don't know what to say. I'm double blessed.
My life was a mess. I felt like I had no purpose. I felt like I was just trying to basically fill my life with what I didn't have. I can't thank him enough for what he has done for me. And I feel like I have purpose now.
My life before Christ was pretty much, didn't know where I was going. It was just, I was just going day to day. I read my Bible every day, I pray, I look at life in a whole different view now. I know what I need to do to get to where I want to go.
I think my life before I accepted Jesus was stressful, always kind of in a rush and the way of the world, trying to figure things out. I never really knew how to be a Christian until I came to Daybreak. I think they gave me some tools that made me realize what it means to be a Christian.
I came to know Jesus when I was 4 and I was in Hiptown, and I wanted Jesus to be my forever friend.
Wes had a very powerful message, and I was sitting there with my family in the back of church, and it was a time for me to make that step forward. I went forward and met with Wes, and he prayed with me, and then he turned me over to Norm Lamb, and Norm gave me the believer's prayer, and that was really the turning point for me.
My life is different now because I always think through Jesus, and I always give him my worries.
I tell you what, as soon as I got baptized, I came out of that water. I just felt like my old life was just left right in the water, which just felt great. And honestly, ever since then,
been doing more and more, gotten more involved, and we've changed our lifestyle quite a bit, and it just feels great.
I've been going to Daybreak ever since it started, and I've just grown into a love for Christ, and it's me learning through him, through the Bible, and listening to Wes and to Brian, but also it's God talking to me and speaking through my heart.
Seems like all I could see was a struggle. Haunted by ghosts that lived in my past. Bound up in shackles of all my failures. Wondering how long is this gonna last? Then you look at this prisoner and say to me, son, stop fighting a fight that's already been won. 'Cause I am redeemed. You set me free, so I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every stain. I'm not who I used to be. I am redeemed. I'm redeemed. Life I have been called unworthy. Named by the voice of my shame and regret. But when I hear you whisper, shall lift up your head, I remember, oh God, you're not done with me. Wipe away every stain. Now I'm not who I used to be, because I don't have to be the old man inside of me, 'cause his day is long dead and gone. Because I've got a new name, a new life. I'm not the same, and a hope that will carry me home. I am redeemed. You set me free, so I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every stain. Now I'm not who I used to be. I am redeemed. You set me so I'll shake off these heavy chains and wipe away every stain. Now I'm not who I used to be. Oh God, I'm not who I redeemed.
You may have a seat. You may have a seat. And thank you. That was awesome. Let's pray. Would you join me in prayer? Lord, we thank you for Daybreak. Thank you for everything that you've done for this church over the past 30 years. We thank you for redeeming us. We thank you for the leadership. We thank you for Wes and Claudia, for without them, this church would not have been so successful. And we thank you for their dedication over the past 30 years. They've given everything. We thank you for all the people that make this church go. Thank you for the blessing over this service, for the blessing over the future of Daybreak. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You know, as we look forward to receiving our offering shortly, I want to reflect on the past 30 years and how thankful we are as a Daybreak team and on behalf of Wes and Claudia for the generosity of each and every one of you over the past 30 years in your giving to make this church go. It needs to happen. It's part of our call and our Christianity with God, and it's so important, the giving here, and it just makes this place go, allows us to do ministries across the world, and just change people's lives. So would you give yourselves a round of applause for everything that you've done over the past 30 years? Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be receiving the offering shortly. In the meantime, I want to talk about our next series, which starts next week. And Wes is going to be preaching. And the series is called Stranger Things. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it goes through October, so you do not want to miss it. And in the meantime, check out this video.
I'm always trying to be funny.
As we do it like this, on the warm-up tip, I let you know. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. So here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the bow-tie comedian, Mike Goodwin.
Oh, thank y'all. Y'all too kind. Happy birthday, Daybreak. Make some noise. I'm excited to be in the great state of Michigan and look around. There's a lot of white people out here doing this. So white people, now that I have y'all all together, let me share something with y'all. I don't know if y'all realize this. White people, y'all like to whisper the race of the person that y'all talking about. I saw this happen to me the other day. He was like, hey, you know, Mike Goodwin's gonna be there. The black guy. Like, why are you whispering? That is not a secret. But I'm from South Carolina. I'm excited to be here in Michigan. I travel all over, and I tell people wherever I go, I'm from the South with an F and not a TH, from the South. One thing about Southerners, too, we have the unique ability to just make up words. It's in our DNA. We make up words like fintu and fixin'. Matter of fact, one of my favorite words, a made-up word, is 5 syllables, one word. What you're not gonna do. Yeah, my mother said that a lot when I was growing up. My mother said stuff like, what you're not gonna do is keep running in and out of this house. That's what you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is stand in front of that refrigerator and hold that door open, little boy. That's what you're not gonna do. I mean, what some of y'all not gonna do is sit out there and not laugh at jokes. That's what y'all not gonna do. I enjoy performing in front of churches. I don't know, make some noise, your church folks. Where the church folks at? Make some noise, church folks. Enjoy performing in front. I don't know if you realize this, but church folks can be some funny acting people. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about other church folks. Matter of fact, I called this woman from my church. I didn't realize it at the time, but I found out that she was a part-time Christian. And I apparently called her on her day off. Yeah, she answered the phone with an attitude. She was like, who in the blank is this? And how did you get this blankety blank number? And I was a little taken aback because I don't curse out loud, you know. Keep it on the inside. So I said, this is Brother Goodwin from the church. That's how you say it when you're spiritual, from the church. She said, oh, praise the Lord, brother. I was like, praise the Lord. What you're not gonna do is act like you ain't just cuss me out on the phone. That's what you're not gonna do. Another thing about the South, we love nicknames in the South. I realize there's some people I've been knowing my entire life. I don't know their real names. My brother called me the other day. He said, hey, man, you know Mark Davis's mom passed away. Like, I don't know Mark Davis, man. He was like, Stanky, man. Stanky mama passed. I was like, why you ain't say that from the start? I need to give Stank a call. We would try to be funny with nicknames. We call big people nicknames like Tiny, Slim. We nickname people after food. I know a cornbread, a pork chop, and a collard green. I know this one dude, his nickname is Boss, and he ain't got no job. I'm like, who you the boss of, yourself? Yeah, but I think white dudes have the coolest nicknames. I really do. Because white dudes' nicknames go with them their entire life. White dudes have nicknames like Rusty, Skip, Chip. Like your nickname could be Chip. You could be the CEO of a bank. You could have Chip on your business cards. The brothers can't do that. Pookie can't be a branch manager at the bank. You don't trust your buddy with Pookie. We're like, right this way, Dr. Junebug will see you. I'm like, no, he will not. What you're not going to do is have me in the room with a Dr. Junebug. That's what you're not going to do. That's Thank You Mama's doctor right there. That's not going to work. Hey, make some noise. You got crazy family members. Clap if you got crazy family members. Yeah, now if you're not clapping, you are the crazy family member. I just want to let you know. I got a cousin who is a drama queen. The whole world is her stage. We were out to dinner the other night and the server did something. My cousin at the table going off. When he gets back, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. I was like, wait a minute. You can't afford to give anybody a piece of your mind. Matter of fact, you need to go get all the pieces you done gave out. Bring them back together like Humpty Dumpty. That's what you need to do. Y'all, we was planning a surprise birthday party for my aunt. My cousin used this expression I thought was a little odd. She said, I hope y'all don't let the cat out the bag. That's a strange expression for me, because if I saw somebody holding a bag full of cats, the first thing I would think to say is, hey man, you need to let those cats out the bag. But why are we so obsessed with cats anyway, huh? Cat got your tongue? Look what the cat drug in. It's raining cats and dogs. What up, cat daddy? You living like a fat cat. Don't be a copycat. You are such a scary cat. It's more than one way. Who is skinning cats? I guess the dude with the bag full of cats, huh? And why does he have multiple ways of doing this? And I guess you gotta find curiosity. Curiosity will kill a cat, then you can skin the cat once you let the cat out the bag. When I get back to the hotel, I'm gonna take a little cat nap. That's what I'm gonna do. So I have a family, I have a wife, and my wife and I, we created some offspring. Yeah, thank you. Typically, when I share that, people clap. I see y'all don't care anything about my family this morning. We have 2 children, have a daughter who's the oldest. We had a hard time trying to figure out what to name our daughter. So we named our daughter a throwback name like throwback jerseys. We named our daughter Essie Mae Pearl. Yeah. Good Southern name. Little Essie Mae is what we call her. I'm just messing with y'all. You see the looks on some of your faces. What you're not gonna do is sit out there and judge what I named my daughter. That's what you're not gonna do. I'm just kidding. That's not a name. Her name is Gertrude. Somebody like, that's worse than Essie Mae Pearl. You know, but it's difficult naming your children. That's a tough task. One of the places that people look for names in the Bible. A lot of beautiful names in the Bible. My name's in the Bible. But there's some other names you probably shouldn't be naming your children. Like Judas, Bathsheba, Abednego. Can you imagine having a friend named Abednego? Yeah, that's my boy Abednego Jackson. Yeah, those his brothers over there, Shadrach and Meshach. Yeah, they firefighters. I have a sister named Delilah. She's a hairstylist. But now I got my second child. I have my son. I have my boy. But I feel like my daughter set us up. Because my daughter's tremendously different than this little boy. My daughter, she's polite, mannerable, quiet. But this little boy, y'all, as soon as his feet hit the floor, he's in the room like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, am I raising Busta Rhymes in my house? 6 o'clock in the morning, little boy go to the bathroom. Da, 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 da. I'm like, if you don't sit down, man, we ain't here trying to sleep. And I was a little concerned about the little guy because he wasn't as sharp as his sister, you know what I'm saying? A couple of crayons missing out the box. That's all I'm trying to communicate to you. Like, I wasn't prepared for my son. Once I started allowing him to dress himself, I wasn't prepared how he would walk out the room. Y'all, one time my son walked out the room, he had buttoned his shirt up the side of his body. I said, man, how in the world did you even do that, son? Shoes never on the right foot, so his feet, they poke out like that, and he just be running around. I'm like, that don't feel odd to you at all? Well, I was most concerned about the little guy was when he started trying to communicate. He started speaking. So I don't know who he was talking to. Y'all, it sounded like my son was scatting when he first started talking. This is how my son would sound, walk around. Skid out! Bow, boom, bow, bow, dee-dee, boom, bow, 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 dee-dee, boom, bow, 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 dee-dee. Y'all, we didn't know it at the time, but my daughter had the ability to interpret that language. So my son running around to my skid out, bow, boom, bow, bow, dee-dee. And my daughter's like, Mama, Michael wants some grapes. I'm like, how in the world do you know that ski nom mean grapes? I was watching the game one night. He got to scatting again. Ski out, bow, boom, bow, bow, dee-dee, boom, bow. My daughter's like, Daddy, Michael want to watch Law and Order. Special Victims Unit. I'm like, get y'all little behinds in the bed. As a matter of fact, tell your brother to ski out, bow, bow, bow. My daughter's like, Daddy said what you're not going to do is sit up in here and watch television. That's what you're not going to do. Son's a little older now. He's speaking. He speaks a little too much for my preference. Son loves animals. Says the word animal very strangely. Says animals if he worked at Moe's Southwest Grill. And every time he says the word animal, he got to make the noise that the animals make. So we walked through the neighborhood the other day. My son had an outburst. Daddy! Animal! Animal, daddy dog! Ow! Ow! Animal! I'm like, boy, I can't wait to take you to the zoo. It's amazing. Son's a little older. He played flag football. That was a waste of money right there. Team was horrible. Horrible. They lost 6 games in a row. The next 2 games they tied. And I remember my son came home. He was real excited after the second tie, kind of hopping around. I was like, hey, man, why are you so excited? My son was like, Dad, Coach said that whenever we tie, it's like both teams won. Like, no, son. Coach lied. Tie's worse than a loss, son. They put it on the other side. That's how bad it is, son. We're having a conversation. My son told me, he said, Dad, Coach said it doesn't matter. Wins or losses. What matters is as long as we have fun. I said, no, son. Coach lied again. If you want to have fun, just play in the backyard, son. That's what you can do. Once I pay for registration, I need some wins, son. I need some first downs. I need some action. I think a lot about my childhood because we're doing things with children. When I was a kid, that we still doing with kids now. Like, why are we still teaching kids nursery rhymes? Have y'all read these things? There was an old lady that lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do. So she fed them broth without any bread and whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. Yeah, that lady going to jail. You can't raise children like that in 2019. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife. He couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Yeah, Peter has a Netflix documentary coming out, making of a murder of pumpkin pie style. This is even dumb songs. We still teaching kids dumb songs. My son was singing this dumb song the other day. 10 Little Monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off, bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, then it was 9 little monkeys. Then 8 little monkeys. Then 7 little monkeys. I'm like, this doctor not gonna call Protective Child Services on this woman. This woman's clearly overwhelmed with these children. She needs some help. She need to call the old lady in the shoe. That's who she need to call. I bet you them children won't jump on the bed no more after that. I bet you won't be any more jumping on the bed. Every time it would rain, I started singing this song to my son that somebody sung to me. It's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. He went to bed and bumped his head and couldn't get up in the morning. I'm like, why am I singing homicide hymns to my son before he go to sleep? The boy gonna have nightmares. It's just craziness. And I think a lot about my childhood because things are so different now with children. They can just Google anything. Information's at their fingertip. When I was a child, you couldn't Google information. If you wanted information, you had to go to the encyclopedia. And I was a weak little kid, so I couldn't pick up the encyclopedia. So I had no information. I remember when I didn't know how to spell a word, I would ask my mother how to spell a word. You know what my mother would tell me? Look it up in the dictionary. I was like, Mama, I don't know how to spell the word. Yo, I spent 4 weeks in the L's looking for elephant. I was like, Mama, I don't think that word's in the dictionary. I see leprosy. I don't see anything. I almost passed out looking for pneumonia. I was like, I don't know what this. I don't know where to go for this. I want to be a great dad, man. Round of applause for all the fathers. Give it up for the dads. Give it up for the dads. I want to be a great dad, so I'm always looking for examples of fathers in different places. I was reading about Abraham. Everybody's familiar with Abraham, the father of our faith. Story, everybody's familiar with Abraham and Isaac. That's in Genesis, the 22nd chapter. God told Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. They go to the mountaintop. Abraham goes to sacrifice him. God speaks. There's a ram in the bush. They go on. Now, the next time you see Abraham and Isaac together, isn't it to Genesis, the 25th chapter, when Isaac is burying his father Abraham. So I submit unto you that incident on the mountaintop was probably the last father-son trip that Abraham and Isaac went on together. That probably was the last time Abraham was able to get Isaac anywhere with him by himself. He'd be like, hey, son, I'm about to run down to Damascus to get some livestock. You want to ride? Like, nah. I'm good, Pops. Like, what you're not going to do is get me out here and try to sacrifice me again. That's what you're not going to do. Very observant. There's some things I see in society, y'all, that's not wrong, but it just ain't right. I'm saying it's not against the law, not against the Bible. It ain't wrong. It just ain't right. Like a man that wear lip gloss. That ain't wrong. It just ain't right. How you gonna be standing there, your lips shiny, smelling like strawberries? I'm like, hey man, you got some more candy? You're like, oh no, man, that's my lip gloss. I'm like, your lip gloss? It ain't wrong. It just ain't right. What about two grown men riding on a motorcycle together? Your big grown self holding on to another man's waist. It ain't wrong. It just ain't right. Even little boys know better than that. What little boys do? Ride on the handlebars, man. Ride on the handlebars. It ain't wrong. Just ain't right. What about a grown man skipping? You ever seen a grown man skip? That ain't wrong. It just ain't right. Because when you skip, you got to smile. Have you ever seen somebody skip and not smile? That ain't wrong. That just ain't right. That's a long way around right there. This stuff almost slipped on the floor. The show would have been over right there. It ain't wrong. It just ain't right. I was in the Goodwill the other day. I saw a section for lingerie. That's wrong right there. Don't nobody want no hand-me-down drawers. Thank y'all so much. Mike Goodwin. So this morning, I'm excited to be here. I met your pastors about earlier this year, and they saw me and they said, you know what, we're having a celebration. We think you'd be perfect to come and join us. So give them a round of applause for bringing me in. I'm honored to be here. I go a lot of places, and not every place is healthy, and this is a healthy, vibrant place, and I'm excited to be a part of what God is doing in your life up to this point, and then even going forward. So I'm going to take this time to introduce your leaders, Wes and Claudia Duplin. Did I say that wrong? Dupin? Dupin. What I'm not going to do is get up here and mispronounce your name. That's what I'm not going to do. Started Daybreak 30 years ago. Wes has a passion for evangelism, and it's his top gifting. He's adventurous, loves to hike, run marathons, ski, Jeep in his mud. He's a macho guy, but also an artist. He has a special spot in his heart for his grandchildren. He does a grandparents camp every year, full week of camp, where we bring in not only other people and their grandchildren, but their own. He's wise, he's deeply spiritual. He's been faithful to this church for 30 years. He stands in integrity and is willing to call a spade a spade. Claudia is the executive pastor. She's responsible for the staff, the big picture of the church, and is equally gifted, a warm character who is always encouraging others. Y'all join me in giving a round of applause for your leaders, Wes and Claudia Dupin.
You are so funny. I love the way you say our name. That was great. Oh, my. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Did you give him that speech?
Yeah, I wrote that.
You wrote
No,
that?
no,
Yeah.
no.
Wow, give it up for Mike. Wow, I mean, wow, that was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mike is considered in the top now, in the top 10, maybe 5 top comedians out there. So it's a pleasure to have you, an honor to have you in our church on this 30th birthday. Go online and you can buy socks and
I'm not sure what that.
I don't know. What do you have on there? Do you have different things? You have T-shirts and you have concerts on there? Okay,
All
so
right.
just go online there. What's the website?
Comedian Michael.
Okay, Comedian Michael. What do you think today, Claudia? Are you just like overwhelmed?
Goodwin. Michael Goodwin.
Yeah. What do you think today?
I'm thinking this is awesome.
They can't hear you.
I'm thinking this is awesome. Just to look out at you guys and be here and celebrate with us is awesome. Daybreak is you.
Mm-hmm.
Without you, there'd be no Daybreak. In your giving, your loving, your serving, your supporting, and your family. And we love you and thank you for everything that you've done for this great church. Yeah.
You know, I was thinking a while ago, I got some new series ideas listening to Mike.
Don't blame Mike.
No, I got one right on the top of my head now. Don't skip that. Don't skip that.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great. Yeah.
Like, don't skip
A
church.
meal. Don't skip your meal.
Meal? That's personal. Don't skip heaven,
Oh.
but skip hell.
Oh. I think we need to focus on what
All
we're
right,
supposed
so
to be
you
up
help us
doing.
here. So let's just talk about what's going to happen here.
All right.
I counted the other day that we have dedicated 600, I think the number's up here,
I need some notes down here, folks.
631 babies.
Can you imagine? That's a lot of diapers. No, that's a lot of little kisses
Yeah,
you gave to all the babies.
a lot of kisses,
Yes.
and they're all out here today. That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, look at them.
Yes.
They're all out here. Pretty amazing. You don't care, do you? Well, one thing I do care about is the fact that today we can make a big announcement that all 3 of these buildings, 73 acres, are all paid in full. Now, we got a little corner out there, about 5 acres. We're still paying it off. We've got a few more dollars to raise there, but we're going to get it. I just think it's wonderful. This is all paid in full. I know John LaBarge is all excited about that, but this is really, really cool. You know, I think about some of the ministries, and there's been a lot of them, but let's go back to Bosnia for a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, today, there is a ministry going on
That's
because
right.
of Daybreak.
That's right.
We
We've
signed the documents,
Yep.
and we're able as a church to go into Bosnia, where our denomination was not. And now we've got a great church going on in Livno.
Yep.
And then I think of Brno, Czech
Republic, yeah.
where we have a ministry going there.
Yep.
But just a lot of cool things are happening. One of the things that I'm most proud of for our church is the fact that you guys have made it possible for our marathon runners and walkers to raise enough money. We have already placed in the ground 41 wells in Africa.
Give it up for the
That
41
is awesome.
wells. Yes. That is so amazing.
And then I think of all of the various ministries that you guys, this church has inspired, kind of like what we saw with Wally up here and Derek. We're going to put these up here. This one just overwhelms me. This one makes me, I just get moved by this picture. You guys have inspired these people to go from this church to start ministries all over the country. We saw Derek and Courtney earlier, and Guy and Hosanna Johnson doing great work, poetry and music and everything, and Jason and Katie and Jeff and Sarah and my...
What about Miss Sam Decker?
Sam Decker,
Yeah.
Uganda. Who would go to Uganda? But
Sam
Sam. And then we already heard Mike, and over here's my brother he helped us start the church here in the very beginning, spent a couple of years. And then Justin Wachowski, Justin and Elle today, big time movie directors in Hollywood. Got started here in our student ministries program and doing great work. And then you saw Wally. And then back here is Brian and Lori King, who started Vox United. I mean, guys, give it up for them. These guys are doing wonderful work all over the nation today, doing wonderful work. And then let's think of Easttown for a moment.
All right.
I mean, think about the partnership we have going there.
Yes.
You know those people, don't you?
I love those people.
Those are children right
Those are my
there.
babies.
Doing
Yeah.
great work, doing
Yeah.
great work there.
Yes.
But again, think of what's happened out of this church. And we've just shown a few here today. You have been the environment that has produced this. And thank you for doing all that you have had. Now, I counted up the other day. There have been 1,347 people baptized up here.
Isn't that glorious?
That
Woo!
is glorious. Claudia,
Wesley.
that's like one a week. One a
Okay.
week for 30 years.
Wow.
That is a lot.
It is
But
it's a
the
bunch.
number that I am the most thrilled about is the next one.
I know that. You don't?
You know what it is?
Yeah.
That's the people like Al Munjoy
Yes.
and thousands of others who've made decisions
Yes.
to follow Jesus. 6,920 people have come through this place. That picture on your right comes from a series called Walk the Line, inspired by Johnny Cash. And somebody was crazy enough to say, well, let's just put a railroad track down the center of this church. We're nuts, aren't we?
Yeah, Mr. Bob Heisen remembers it. He hauled in
Yeah.
all 3 tons
We
of
actually put
rocks.
railroad ties.
Yep.
How many tons of rock?
3.
Yeah. Very concerned about what it might do to the church pews and all of that kind of stuff. No, I'm kidding. But we put it down here and we thought, let's just see what happens. Let's see if somebody will make a decision to walk the line and follow Jesus. Nothing was happening that first Sunday. And this kid right here, we have a video of this, but we're not going to play it. This kid was the first kid who stood out. He was a teenager and started walking these rocks, and you could hear it all over the church. When we got finished with that series, nearly 150 some people walked the line and made a decision to follow Jesus. I still meet people today that say it was on that Sunday that you had walked the line that I made a decision to follow Jesus. To follow Jesus. That's what this church is all about. And you guys have made that possible through your generosity, through your sacrifices, through your commitments, through your service, through your volunteerism, being faithful here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, people ask me, and this happened this week, 30 years ago, how many families started this church? Well, we didn't know if anybody would help us. It was just Claudia, myself, and our 2 sons. But there were 24 families that made a commitment to help us start this church. We started looking at the names the other day. How many of those people are still here? 30 years ago. 30 years ago. You're watching right now. People that in those first few months said, we're making a commitment to help start this church. These people, this is one of the most overwhelming sights right here to me. Their faithfulness, their steadfastness, discouragements, people leaving the church. Are we going to be able to pay our bills? Can we do another Sunday? These people have faithfully, Mike, right here. These are the bedrock people. And so I was meeting with a banker. His name wasn't Chip. I was meeting with a banker 3 weeks ago. And I said, Craig, we counted up the other day that there are nearly 30 people that are still with us. He said, that is absolutely unheard of. And here's what he said to me. You need to celebrate that group of people. That's where it came from. That's where it came from.
Give it up for these guys. Yeah.
So we're going to do that right now, and you guys get to keep these now. You can take them home and place them on your altars. So you want to start? We're going to honor. So Gene Yonker. Mike and DC Smith. He was our first worship leader. DC was one of our very first in our kids department. Mark Barman's one of the first guys I led to Jesus Christ. Right here. Are you giving everybody one or just one per? Mark came to me one day and he wanted to know more about what does it mean to have a relationship with Jesus. I said, Mark, get down on your knees. We're praying. And I see your son up here today. Pastoring in an entertainment city now. And I know some of the people who go to your son's church, they're entertainers. They play to crowds of 10 and 20,000. And they're sitting in your son's front row. I know some of these bands. 30 years ago when you came to my office, did you ever dream anything like this would happen, Mark? John and Marty Labarge. This guy right here, along with Kyle Clausen, helped build all of these buildings. All these buildings. He helped me raise the money. This guy right here. Right here. Usually you don't keep these people. Next time you announce there's a fundraising campaign, they usually feel led to go to another church. He just doesn't know. So, Walt and Linda, this guy right here, I can't tell you the crazy things that we've gotten involved in together. But ideas, this man has stood with me. And we've gone through some tough times together. The loss of a son together. And yet I've watched the faithfulness of this couple. Did you give them one of these? Okay. Mike and his wife, Chris. This is Mrs. Coffee right here. She runs Norms. I drive up here on Saturday night just to pray, and a lot of times I see her vehicle down here, and she's getting it all ready for you guys. Been doing this for years. Vanessa has been faithful, working in our children's department, working in our office, whatever it takes. That's Vanessa. We used to do a pizza party in our house, invite all the new people until our house got too small. Lynn and Bonnie Knoll, Mr. and Mrs. Enthusiasm. They can also dance really well. Now they're runners. Faithful. Shelley and Steve Frody. I can't tell you the many times. Steve and I meet once a month for lunch before the upcoming elders meeting. We got one tomorrow. Steve, if you don't remember that, we have one tomorrow. Always positive, always encouraging me. Always. Terry Barsox, he was our first AV guy. He's the guy who came to me the second Sunday, was it the first or the second? And said, I can help you with what you put up on your little screen. I can do slides. This is a guy right here. Coach Doug Troop and his wife, very special people, Helen, very special people to us. They came the very first Sunday. And when I heard he was the head coach at Granville football and now he's a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, I was so thrilled about that. This guy, numerous times, when I have been down and discouraged, he doesn't know I'm going to say this. I don't know how he knows this. He has come to me and said, could I just encourage you? And it'd be like the very week I needed it. Thank you, Coach. His lovely daughter, Kelly. Kelly, were you 14 or 15 when you started coming here? 15. Are you sure you're 15 and not 14? 15. So that makes you how old now?
No.
She wrote me a letter almost 30 years ago. I framed it. I got it in my office. I read it often. Do you know this, that I do that? About how her and her sister came to this church and they found Jesus. And Jesus changed her life. This lady right here. Mary, will you walk out here? Do you mind just come out here for a moment?
Yeah, give it up for Mary. Yes.
Mary was with the Grand Rapids School Board for how many years? 28. I heard she was retiring. And she was going to spend her retirement in Haiti helping a doctor. And I heard about that, and I went to her and I said, why would you want to go to Haiti? We've got a mission field in this town called Hudsonville, Jenison. And so for 30 years, she's been my assistant. There's been no scandals, Mary, that we know of. Most faithful, most trustworthy, most honest, prayerful woman I know outside of two other people. You're like number 3. You are. I love this young lady. She's special to this church. She is a dear saint. Day 1, 30 years ago. Thank you, Mary. Did we give her one? Aaron, he started here when, how old were you? I forget these things. You were 5 years old, your mom and dad. I remember attending your mom and dad's small group. Here he is, 5 years. He doesn't know any better than to just stay here. Margaret Lamb. You're number 4. There's my wife. There's Grace Dupin. There's Mary Merrill. And there's Margaret Lamb. You're number 4. This lady is a saint of God. She grew up in the Catholic Church, and she still thinks that I'm the father here. Margaret, I'm married. But she prays for me all the time. And her husband was one of the greatest Christians I ever knew and personally met. Thank you. Dave and Lori Branson. Dave will do things that I can't get anybody else to do. I'll give you an example. It's hard to find people to set these chairs up. But I learned one thing from my dad. Find the busiest guy in your church and they'll do it. It's one of the busiest guys I know. He and Lori both. They have companies and they're very busy people. It never fails. I'll say to Claudia, she said, I can't find anybody. I said, call Dave. Dave Branson. He'll either find the equipment we need or he will find 2 or 3 people to set these chairs up. This has happened for 30 years, folks. I love this couple. They're special to me. Dave and Lori Branson. I'm going to give you one for your desk, and I'm going to keep one for my desk.
You are so amazing.
So,
Oh my gosh.
you want to tell them what's down in the youth building?
Yeah, man, we've got 2 types of cake, chocolate, vanilla, and we've got grape punch, and we've got a specialty drink that's, let me get this right, caramel, hot apple cider, where did she go?
Well, she
Am I close? Hot apple cider, it's
Okay.
caramel. Yeah,
Is it free?
a little bit, no.
You know what? Let's make it free today. Can we do that?
We are big spenders.
Can we do that? Okay, we're going to make it free.
I hope.
I just probably created chaos.
Yes, you
didn't I?
did. You do that quite
I do that.
well.
Okay. We're going to party right now, so get on your
Yes.
feet, and we're going to
Here
finish
go.
up with party.
Party.
Here we go.
Yes.
All right, Daybreak, let's celebrate 30 years. Woo! 1, 2, 3. I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. We're making history. I just want to celebrate. We did the same song. Work hard, play down all day long. All the continents get jealous over me. You can see me 3D overseas. If you know me, then you know where to find me. Off the Bahamas with the band on the I-9. Now live it up, live it up, live it up. Baby, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, and we go. Boom, boom, around the world. Boom, boom, no kidding, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. Boom, boom, around the world. Boom, boom, no kidding, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. Come on. I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Tonight we're making history. I just want to celebrate. Turn it up. Turn it up. I've been patiently waiting for you to shake it and shake it. The point is we made it. Playing on the game called Lust Time Brady, and it's not our fault that we have all the players, but it's hard to be a player when your middle name's a player. All around the globe, saying next, see you later. We're great, they're great, we're practical operators, we're smooth operators. Boom, boom, around the world. Boom, boom, no kidding, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. Boom, boom, around the world. Boom, boom, no kidding, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. Come on. I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Tonight a good time that we've given you. Now give it up, 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 give it up. What's it gonna do? I just wanna celebrate. I just wanna celebrate. Tonight we're making history. I just wanna celebrate. Turn it up. Let's celebrate. Turn it up. Let's celebrate. Hey, happy birthday, Daybreak. Thanks so much for coming today. Make sure you get that cake and that punch in the student lounge located that way. And we'll see you next week for Stranger Things. Have a great week.
You couldn't feel this love as true. You let your heart believe the lies, thinking once upon a times weren't made for you. Oh, when holding on is hard for you, it's okay, okay. I got strength for two, don't let me get away. Time can't heal, but it brings perspective. So if it's time you need, how could I resent it? Hey, I don't want you to be afraid. I just can't seem to walk away. I meant what I said. I meant what I said. I don't want you to be afraid. I just can't seem to walk away. Even if it breaks my heart in two. I meant what I said when I told you I got you. to be afraid. I just can't seem to walk away, even if it breaks my heart in two. I meant what I said when I told you I got you.
I'm coming clean, I'm laying down every hidden thing, they're yours now. This silent shame, I'm speaking out. Come turn this heart into holy ground. Take these trembling hands, take this broken past. I will not hold back anymore. Will you walk, I'll go, let your will unfold, and I shall not fear, for I am yours. God, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. My feet are tired, but you give me strength. My well is dry, but yours is full of grace. Your touch is healing, your voice is peace. Your love is changing every part of me. Take these trembling hands, take this broken past. I will not hold back anymore. Will you walk, I'll go, let your will unfold, and I shall not fear, for I am yours. God, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. How could I turn from your mercy? How could I run from your arms? How could I do anything but give you all of my heart? Take these trembling